Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 91 of Unbuckling the Bible Belt podcast. I am your host, Kate, the Bluegrass Skeptic.
And this is Chris Woodmore coming straight to you from the backwoods of Tennessee.
Welcome back. We can actually talk to you this week.
I know we got cut off last week. That was lovely.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there just telling out my whole life story. 20 minutes later, Joe comes in and interrupts me.
Yeah, there was just when
anymore.
it's just like when Gleb left our interview, my whole side cut out. It was all gone. It was crazy.
Well, at least we got that interview. That was great, man. I learned a lot during that.
Yeah, I like a lot of what he has to offer. His books are extremely helpful, by the way. If you've not read any, I highly recommend it. Like I said, my favorite one is Finding Your Purpose Using Science. I love that book. It's very helpful. Yeah. It's like a therapist in a book. It's really good. So, highly recommend it. In case you haven't noticed, Joe is not quite on board yet. He's running a little bit behind tonight.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He's stopping to pick up lube.
We need to get baby food.
Oh, He's got to
keep the baby fat because we're going to eat a rib someday, little riblets. So he's got to keep her. So Joe will just pop in out of nowhere, I promise. Yeah. Probably in the next 10 minutes or so. But
he's
tonight's
going to be an interesting night.
Oh, no. Not that we know of anyway. That I'm in Kentucky and not down there. Stuff can travel in the water, can it? People can travel in water. But tonight, we're going to go over what you've been up to since we got so unceremoniously cut off last week. And we're also going to try and digest all of the news this week. I mean, this has been like a hurricane of news.
Right.
It's so much to take in and process. And I'm still...
Let me crack this goddamn beer open and we'll get to talking a little bit.
And then, of course, I don't know if you heard... since you're back for here and there when you got time, we have a $500 scholarship we're offering this year.
What?
To students. Yeah, surprise.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. It's called the Hillbilly Education Fund.
Fuck yeah. I got 50 good hillbilly friends that are pretty secular humanist activists, and they would love to hear about that shit. That's awesome. That makes me happy.
Now this year it's only $500. Where I posted the qualifiers on my blog, the Bluegrass Skeptic, over at xchristian.net. For those who are interested, I will have a more formal post pinned to the top of our Facebook page later this week. We won't be starting to take entries for this until I think I had September to October. We will decide by Black Friday who the winner is, and we will announce the winner on January 2nd because it's a new year, so you get new shit. Gotta love it.
Nice.
It's going to be an interesting thing, though. We have to read, obviously, entries, and I didn't want to make this boring because, you're going to be a judge, I'm going to be a judge, Joe will be a judge. And I want it to be something interesting to read instead of this whole normal, I'm a humanist essays. Everybody does that. And I'm like, you know what? Let's have a essay where it's a good ad hoc argument, meaning it's really shitty bad hoc.
Right.
I think that'll be kind of fun. It'll be entertaining for us to read. They can come up with their own arguments why a cat's static helps a person live longer, or however they come up with their assumptions. Kind of like what Gibbers Craps was all about.
I love that cartoon, man. That's great. I love that.
Yeah, right? So I thought, well, let's have our entrants write a bad ad hoc argument, whether it's for creation, and it's specifically for creationism. So it should be kind of fun, let them have fun with it. But yeah, I've got all of the qualifications up there, and so I'm really excited. We've got a $500 scholarship this year. Next year, I hope to have $1,500. Basically, 3 $500 scholarships would be great. And I figure what we could do is all the entries we get, I'll publish them in an ebook, and then people can buy the ebook for $2 because it's going to be fun to read ad hoc arguments, right?
Right.
And then all the $2 minus whatever the Amazon fee is goes straight to the scholarship fund for next year.
Nice. That's really nice.
Plus, next year we'll take donations too. So Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm
Just
thrilled.
awesome.
I
That's just
told
awesome.
people I was coming for their kids, and I was not joking around. So
I've kind of
I'm gonna
had that
bribe them.
mentality myself, and when you try to address these issues and get up in their face, man, sometimes it just takes a toll on you. And late last year, I had to take a break from it. Yeah, it was taking a toll on me. Uh, Whenever you address all this negativity, it impacts your life, and sometimes you just got to stay away from it. But I've done that, and hopefully, there just seems to be a lot of positive reinforcement lately, where people are just kind of done attacking religion, and people are just moving forward with their lives. And as long as we can focus on that, I'm all about that. But
Yep.
it just wears you out. It really does. I know there's still a big fight for civil rights and separation of church and state. But you got to step back sometimes and understand what it is you're fighting for, I guess. Otherwise, it just consumes you.
It
Does
just
that make
feels like a
sense?
daily grind. It feels
Yeah.
like a grind after a while, unless you find your purpose or method for dealing with it. It's like I don't want to sit here, and I don't really debate that much with people anymore. It's kind of pointless to me.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I'm done with the
I'm,
apologetics. I mean, I used to sit around this time last year and have made up debates between me and an apologetic just to confirm myself that I'm right. I don't need to do that shit anymore. I'm just
no.
beyond that point.
Yeah,
Um,
that's where I'm at. Outreach is really where everything's rewarding. I find you have better effect with outreach. You
right,
know,
right,
um,
right,
I told some folks a while back. I said, there was a time I had my folder of shame on a little folder on my desktop on my computer, and every time I ground pound and make somebody tap out in an online debate or argument, I kept a little victory shot. I used to be one of those people, and I finally just was like, what else is there? Because obviously this is the shallow depths of what I could even be doing. And that's when I
right,
started
right,
doing more outreach, and it's been so much more rewarding. It's more effective.
right,
I
right.
find if you're walking your talk, people can't help but take notice and be affected in a good way by it. So
Right.
this is kind of what I wanted to do with the scholarship. I want to obviously increase it as much as possible. But I just think the more outreach a person does, the better you feel about it. And I mean, you're actually working on some outreach, kind of, sort of,
Yes, I
with
am.
your,
I've been doing that for a while and I enjoy it. And I've been really, really pushing the limits on this. And my main thing is again, avoiding the negativity and focusing in on love. I've been officiating weddings left and right, and it's been fun as shit. Um, but my last one that I want to discuss happened. It was a couple weeks. It was 2 weeks ago. I got another one lined up here in another couple of weeks. But and 2 weeks ago was my very first veterans wedding. Secular guy and his wife. They're very open about their beliefs, and they love their guns too. Man, they're good folks, and uh, uh, they asked me to come in and officiate their wedding, and I put a really really nice touch on it. And one of the reasons that I don't want to kind of come out is about how it is I'm doing this is because that just that doesn't give people ammo. Um, but I fired this shot off when I and wife. I did so via the Constitution of the United States and the freedom laws that Tennessee has recently passed about religion,
mm-hmm.
and that gives me that freedom to do that. Um, and I've enjoyed that. And not only that, but I decided to. Well, I really didn't decide. I found someone lucky enough to tolerate me. And I finally got married my damn self back on April 1st. Joe Kendick officiated it, and he did a really really great job.
Now I heard there was a little bit of a mishap with that, though. He ended up having to find some new vows at the last minute.
Uh, I've been working on this secular ceremony for 2 damn years, and every time you chip away and you put something back, and you chip away and you put something back, and I had it written down, and I gave it to him, and for him to repeat it to me, and he left it at the house. Oh, I was about to kill him, but he improved, and he really did a good job, man. He nailed it out of the park.
Yeah, that's one good thing I do think was a good thing, that is it was Joe and that he took care of it for you, because otherwise that could have been a disaster.
Yeah.
So what about this organization? You've got an organization you kind of hooked up with as well, right? As far as, officiating for the LGBTQ community?
Well, I haven't put up
Officially,
anything about it, but what I've got going on is at this last wedding, we had there's a nice lady there, and I was walking around the facilities, and she had this fantastic sign, which you can find on my Facebook page. And I don't remember where it was when it set off first, but it said something to the effect of, we believe this here. Science is real. Love is love. Women's rights are health rights. Healthcare is
People aren't illegal. That's that sign you saw in Cottontown.
Oh,
There
yeah.
he is.
Thank you. And so I contacted the dude who owned the place, and he said, my mom owns it, and she's been thinking about using it as a place when she's gone to make a little money for weddings. And she was particularly excited about maybe.
Uh-oh. Where you at?
I'm all over that. And I said that if that situation develops,
No idea what you said.
More, I'd be more than happy to officiate this.
Well, I hope it works out for you in the long run.
Yeah. So there's not much that's developed out of it, but just to understand that there's a place where the LGBT community can go and get married in the backwoods of Tennessee and not be bothered. And this is a beautiful plot of land. It's got a nice creek running beside it. You're in the hills of northeast Tennessee. It's just really nice.
Not anymore. Who was that? Is that the missus?
Yeah, that's the princess. She's in the background munching on food.
What's up, princess?
She's the queen.
Oh, yeah. What am I saying?
You married the princess. Now she's a queen.
Yeah, and now she's coming through raining food.
Yeah. Quickest way to a man's heart, they say, is his stomach.
No, it's through his chest.
Well, technically, yeah.
No, it's on your chest, you ding dong.
No, my mom said that to a lady at church when we first moved back here. We went to a what kind of church was it? A Nazarene church, and they were having like a potluck or anything. And my mom, smart ass Yankee that she is, lady said, the quickest way to a man's stomach's through his, man's heart's through his stomach. And Mom's like, no, it's not. It's through his chest with a butcher knife.
Nice.
Yeah. That's my mom.
That's a good influence. I like her.
It makes a lot of sense when you.
So we were just kind of reviewing with Woodmore where the hell he's been lately and things he's been up to. And I know tonight we were hoping to talk about conservative men, as in conservative in the bedroom.
In the bathroom. I totally read that as bathroom when she sent me that message. I was like, so what the hell does that mean? You don't take a shit when someone else is around? I had no idea what the hell that meant. I went back and read it and went, oh, bedroom. Well, that makes sense.
Let's go and talk about conservative men sexually, because we always talk about how conservative women are. You hear it all the time. But you never really discuss much about men who are conservative. You know what I mean? And I thought that might be something we talk about tonight, but this week has just been a whirlwind of headline after headline after headline. And I thought maybe we could all kind of discuss some of the headlines that have stuck out in our brains this week. And
oh, Jesus, woman, I wasn't even done talking. Dipshit interrupted me.
I'm working at a disadvantage tonight. Well, finish up, man. What else is going on with you?
I had one more thing, and I just wanted to bring up. I went back to NanoCon for round 2, And it was a great time, and I got to see some people I'd seen before, and a lot of new people, and it was a really, really good time. Got to hang out with Dipshit, who shows up late, and of you, of course, who kind of
Yes.
skipped out to go play around a little bit downtown, and that was
Well,
good.
yeah, I was out with my special somebody.
Hey, sometimes
Yeah.
you got to get the D, man. I understand. I get it.
Yeah,
But,
You got to meet John Gleason, didn't you? Dallas engineer.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got to meet him out in the hallway. He'll never hear this, but yeah, I was the other fat dude who walked up to you and shook hands with you in the hallway.
He's not a small fella. He is not
Yeah.
No.
small.
No, but I love his podcast. I subscribe to that one. That's one of my favorites. I enjoy his a lot.
I have a new
Yeah,
favorite podcast.
He likes to pick on Pastor Greg Locke a lot, who's here locally outside of Nashville, and I like it when he does that.
Such a begin like, oh, I know exactly what he's talking about kind of thing. You love when you can relate to someone on what they're sharing.
Yeah.
Nice.
So anyway, at NanoCon, Dillahunty was there, and JT, what's his?
Eberhard.
Yeah. They were going through their spiel, and
Just one letter away from a great porn name.
but anyway, they discussed about being who you are and being more open and vocal about who you are and what you believe makes the biggest difference. And you'd be surprised how many people will kind of come up and talk to you, just for having that out in the open. And so I took that risk, and I posted out online and told them everybody I was an atheist, and if you had any questions, to email me or to message me. And I received so many messages. It was pretty ridiculous. I was up for like 3 days just replying back to people. But it was a really magic moment, and I just kind of figured out that that's who I needed to be, and I needed to return and at least show up and say hi from time to time with you guys.
That's good.
I think it's interesting that Dillahunty was the one that got you to come out and not Silverman the year prior, because I felt like fighting the fucking world after his talk.
Yeah, Silverman was powerful, but at the same time, I don't know, something. I've been thinking about it for a while. I mean, why am I hiding behind that shadow of the curtain behind an alias? Be who you are. Just be who you are. And whenever I posted that out on Facebook, I sat there and looked at it for probably 45 minutes, thinking of the worst repercussions that was going to happen from my mother, from friends, and whatnot. And people may have ignored it. They may have talked about me behind my back, but I reconnected and connected with so many people over coming out. It was just like magic. It was pretty good stuff.
How many people do you think were actually surprised?
I got messages up to about 20 messages that evening. And they were all positive. Hey, well, what do you think about this? And they did have a positive question towards atheism, as far as trying to question my belief. And I just shut them off, and I just said, look, this is my mind, and I'm out here. This is what I believe. Don't question my beliefs. I'm not going to question yours. Don't question mine. I was looking to see if people out there might have felt the same way, and if they had questions about it, and maybe wanted to talk to more people about it, I'm here for you to talk to.
Mm-hmm. That's important, I think, especially in communities where people can't really be out. It's important to have a few people out there that they know are navigating public life. Yeah. And they can see your world is not going to necessarily end, or, okay, you run into this problem and this is how you work around it. And, it's important, if you can be that role model, you need to do it. That's why I do it. This is who I am. And I mean, I'd say 90% of the time it's nothing but positive. Right. Really. Right. I very rare, but that, of course, now I'm more of the diplomatic humanist,
Right.
I let people have their differences. I don't really try to leave anyone leaving an engagement with myself feeling scratched or minimized. I don't try to do that to people at all.
Right.
And I know you don't either. I've noticed you do try to show a lot of respect unless they're going to really ask you questions, about the Bible or something around a campfire.
Yeah, I'm more of a let live and let live. I mean, if that's what you want to believe, that's fine. Just don't ask me to believe it. Don't ask anybody else to believe it. Don't force it into our damn politics. Keep it at home. Keep it at your building. Stay there. Feel safe, and leave me the hell alone. But there was one person that called back in, and I had a discussion with this kid out in the open before, and he brought it back before that he was very angry. He wasn't raised to be religious, but he lost some friendships in high school here in Gallatin. Well, right outside from where I live in Gallatin, Tennessee. He felt ostracized. His kids made fun of him. They bullied him for not showing up at the poll.
And praying.
And that broke my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to talk to him like how I was talking back to my former self. You have to, you got to look forward to the day that at age 18, you got your diploma, you get out of that thing, and that award's going to click. It's going to be a reset button. And however you go from there is on you. And if there's people around you that you don't like, guess what? You're an adult now. You don't have to deal with it. You can make that decision.
Yep. And that's important. And I guess sometimes that's the tough part about being a teenager and being opposite. I mean, he could be 15. 3 years seems like forever to a 15-year-old. Right. Having that long view as a young adult is just overwhelming. And sometimes it just feels so much longer than it really is. It's like, this is not forever. You have another 60 to 70 years on this planet, more than likely. It can't stay this way for that long, but kids it's hard for them sometimes to grasp that concept of time and long shot view of, it's going to be okay in the long run. It is. It's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah, but my heart broke for this kid. Luckily, though, he just graduated high school, but he still feels ostracized in the community. He understands what I'm talking about and what's going on, and I pointed him towards the direction of some pages that you can always Google up, Nashville Atheist here, Secular Human Alliance, that's there. You can get on the Atheist Experience, and then they've got a Facebook page, and hey, is anybody from Gallatin? And you might find somebody from Gallatin, and I hope he finds that out.
Meetup is a great meetup, MEETUP.
Yeah, there's a National Atheist Meetup.
Yeah, he ought to get on there, and he'll find a bunch of groups he can just meet up and get among his own folks.
They mainly meet at bars, so that's kind of hard for a child.
Well, I told him to follow the podcast, so maybe he'll hear this later.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully so. There's a lot more people out there that one realizes, like some have said, they're saying grace at Thanksgiving. You see two other people at the table with their eyes open, kind of waiting for it to get over with. Like, we need to talk. That's a good thing. So yeah, I'm really glad you came out because I was kind of tired of being the only one that was open on the show. I was like,
yeah. So anyway, Pussy, where's Pussy?
Hey, fuck you. I've been out my entire life on my real account. I'm out every day.
You shouldn't be like that,
yeah.
Pussy.
You bitch ass motherfucker. You know damn well my real life is out as hell, which is really funny.
Yeah, I know you are. I know. But anyway, so what the fuck was it you were wanting to talk? The news has been so goddamn much over the last week. I feel like CNN and Fox gave me an enema.
It's something like that. I know for me.
I know a lot of people had a blast in Ariana Grande concert.
Oh, gee, there he is. Big face.
Sorry. I had to do it.
You should be. There's kids right now
it's
that are
fucking
still
terrible.
missing.
And they're mainly little kids and like young tweens and shit. It's terrible. But the joke's still good.
I mean,
welcome back to Unbuckling the Bible Belt podcast.
Where we just talked about how cool it was to be an atheist.
For fuck's sake. Oh, man. Why do I like you again?
Because I make jokes like that. You don't have to. You don't have to feel bad.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's just go ahead and segue into this.
Some piece of shit blew up a bunch of fucking kids. He's a goddamn coward this week.
And ISIS actually came forward and took claim, which I think they still have to verify just how much was involved.
Yeah, they said they got a lot of the details wrong, so he may just be a fucking lone gun cocksucking fuck ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh wait, apparently cocksucking is a homophobic slur now. I don't understand that.
No, cock holster was.
No. Getzlaff from the Anaheim Ducks got fined $10,000 for calling someone on the National Predators a cocksucker.
Well, I mean, it is kind of saying, hey, because you suck cock, it's a bad thing. And yeah, that's not fair.
Depends on the situation, though.
It's not a bad thing to get. I don't care if it's a guy or a gal. Come on, you know, a blowjob's a blowjob and it feels good.
Oh, no, I know that, but I'm saying, but sometimes it's a domination thing.
Yeah. I mean, the intonation. But at the end of the day, yeah, this week has just been ridiculous. I know it started with Comey supposedly had detailed memos. Then it turned into apparently the DIA and was it the NSA were told to back off by the president. It's just, this shit's getting deeper and deeper by the minute. It seems like it's crazy. Have you guys heard anything new other than this morning at the hearings? What was that guy's name? He was on.
No, all I'm seeing is a bunch of people making a bunch of goddamn excuses that I grew up with for it to be okay for Trump to talk to Russia. I've also seen some comparisons of people throwing out some stupid memes comparing how it is Obama went in and accepted a new friendship with Cuba, but it was no right for Trump to go ahead and do it for Russia. And,
no, there was a lot of different circumstances, though, with Obama and Cuba, I think. And he was pretty out in the open about it. He wasn't going behind closed doors. There's a lot of detail being left out.
There's no reasoning with these people.
Nuance is not a thing anymore.
There's no reasoning with them. I mean, there's just none. There's either people who kind of understand all this this bullshit that's going on, or they don't. And it's just like, God damn, people are dumb. I mean, George Carlin had it right. There are some dumb motherfuckers walking around here, and unfortunately, they can vote.
Yeah, I've been saying that for months. Where have you been?
Well, I noticed I was watching some of the hearings today, and they had one gentleman on there. He was the former head of security. I think he was the former head of the CIA. But he came in today because he was with Obama's cabinet and all of that. But then he lost his job once Trump came in. But he had said, he didn't want to say it was Trump's people per se. He kept referring to U.S. persons speaking possibly. There was enough worry and concern to launch a probe and all of this stuff. But I think the biggest thing he said about as far as with Trump giving away that information was the protocols he broke. It was the protocols. And this could be blatant ignorance on the part of Trump, because do we really think he bothers to understand protocol?
No, I don't think he even fucking knows how to spell it.
Probably not.
He couldn't spell protocol if he had to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, I don't even think he understands the protocol involved. As this gentleman pointed out, he goes, there's a couple protocols where, one, we have to help him understand the correct language to use when revealing these things. That way it doesn't give away their technique or sources or anything. They need to kind of reword how things are done. And then on top of all of that, they have to be sure that it's not revealing any of how they got the information, who gave them the information, because then it might lead to wherever their informants are and all of this and that. So it sounds like he broke a couple protocols more than anything, as far as his little chat with the Russian ambassador a couple weeks ago, And then, of course, we saw what happened in Israel, right?
Yeah, I just don't know what this guy. I mean, when you step back and try to look at all of this, here's the thing that you got to accept. Number one, if you can manage to get the asshole impeached, guess who goes back in the office?
Pence. I know.
And who's worse? I mean, think about it. I mean, do we want a guy who's just learning, figuring all this shit out, Or do we want the super religious asshole who wants to put throw-gaze and electric shock therapy to be president?
To be honest,
Hashtag neither. But I'd rather take Pence.
me too, because he wouldn't be breaking protocols and making us vulnerable with giving out too much fucking information.
That
to me, it's dangerous.
sounds. I'd rather have Pence. And
I'm letting go of the information. Step back and look at it. I mean, that's just, I don't know.
I wonder if Melania's going to apply for asylum somewhere.
After that hand slapping this week.
Oh, that was so awesome.
Well, I mean, I don't know how legitimate this hand slap was. I haven't seen the full video, so I have to let my little skeptical side go here. I don't know if they were speeding it up or slowing it down because they were cutting it off at weird cuts. I mean, for all I know, she didn't really slap his hand. You know how the media is. I think I have to see the whole thing. I'm a little skeptical.
You want to know what I heard from some Christian conservative fellas on that today?
Oh, yes, please. Enlighten us with your wisdom.
Okay, I saw 2 or 3 commenting on it that he was just setting his bitch straight and cutting off her shopping bill, and she didn't like that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. You know what? She has her own money way before she met Trump. I don't think these guys understand. She's a successful businesswoman.
I unfollow these guys, but from time to time, I've got a list of assholes on my desk.
So are they white and 60-ish years old and like to go to flea markets? I'm just curious.
Huh?
Oh, that was an interesting post, by the way.
Oh.
Are they white and 60-ish years old and like to go to flea markets, Chris?
No, I'm talking about 40-year-old people. I'm talking people my age that I went to school with. They're a list of assholes who are progressive in politics. I unfollowed them, but I wrote the names down to remember the son of a bitches so I can go in and check in on what they're thinking, you know.
Yeah. And it's good that you do that.
I just, every time it gets worse and worse and worse, these fuckers, I posted this out a couple weeks ago. There's only one way you can get a true Trump supporter to do a 180 on Trump and leave him behind. And that the only condition is for Trump to wake up and miraculously be a black man.
Yeah, no shit. That would totally do it. Well, I think that though I say that, but then they love Alan West and Ben Carson and.
Mm-hmm. He'd have to wake up and they find out that he was either gay or transgender. That would
maybe a gay black man.
They still wouldn't care. Listen, as long as you pimp the agenda, they use you as your token. The only way. If he found out he fucked that 14-year-old girl, or whatever that
doesn't matter either.
Well, as long as it's a girl, I guess. Yeah. I guess
you know what's going to matter? It's the money line, and you know what he's pinching this week on that money line. I bet you now he's going to be losing supporters with the budget he's put out. You guys read the budget he's proposing?
Yeah, I love that.
I've already heard that most of the GOP are down, so I'm not worried about it. It's just like the laws on the health care bill. They're rewriting the whole damn thing anyway. You don't really know what's going to happen next until it goes back through the House and then gets the Senate.
But I mean, people have to take it seriously. Whether it gets passed or not is not the point. It's the fact that he said, this is the budget I want to put through. And
this is how dumb these motherfuckers we're dealing with are. Not only did I have to see that shit, but I backed up on their pages and I saw where that the shit happened where it passed the Senate to change, put it in Trump care, whatever it is, or abolish Obamacare, and it went to the House. They put these guys at buses right in the White House and put them on TV, and everybody thought Obamacare was gone. Every damn one of them, and that's not happened.
No, it's because there's a lot of moderate Republicans, and there's an election season coming up. If there wasn't an election season coming up, they probably would have passed that fucker without even blinking an eye.
Yeah, probably so. But
and that's why I tell people, just look at what it's like. This budget that Trump's pushing out, the House didn't write this shit.
Yeah,
this is what the White House came out with, and it's like he's cutting from Medicaid, he's cutting into the food stamps, he's cutting into college loans for students.
Oh, he's killing the reimbursement program. My wife is pissed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it passing either, but this is what he legitimately put out there is what he wants. And you could see he's doing tax breaks, but who was it going to help? The top 1%. There's a lot of this that you're seeing that he's putting out, and I'm thinking this is where he's probably going to have a problem with his base, and then you couple that with all of this Russia nonsense. It's just so much to take in,
I think it's going to be another 2 years until we see the Trump supporters going, okay, I knew Trump was going to hurt a lot of people. I just didn't expect it to be my family or myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be hard for them to swallow that pill, but when it happens, I mean, I'm kind of tired of the picking side shit. I don't want to say, nah, boo-boo, I told you, fucking all over again, the man's a con man. But we got to stop that shit, But it's so hard to when I'm dealing with these dumb motherfuckers. Oh, my God. They just drive me nuts sometimes.
I think
it's important. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I can't remember where I heard it, but there's some kind of voting kind of thing where you vote on the issues. They don't tell you who the party is. They don't tell you who the person is. They just give you the issues and you vote on, and then you rank the issues based on your level of importance to you or whatever.
Oh, like my Trump survey I had?
Well, no, but this is actually, it's, there's plenty of things that Hillary Clinton did that fucking Republicans like because she's not fucking much different than them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no one's ever going to vote for her because goddamn Fox News said that Hillary Clinton's the devil and blah, 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 blah. Hillary's a step away from being a fucking Republican. She really honestly is. She's an old school. She's a Ronald Reagan Republican, really.
I don't know if I completely agree with that. There's a lot of...
Maybe not full on, but she's not that far from it.
She's not that far of a progressive than Bernie Sanders. They're really not that far apart. So then you might as well put Bernie over in that direction too. There's quite a few things that they're in agreement upon.
Yeah, but he's fiscally irresponsible.
Well, yeah, we know that. We know that. I mean, I already knew Bernie wanted to... I love it
in theory.
Yeah. It sounds good on paper, but in actual action, it won't come out well. It won't. But yeah, that's just been our week though. So we had all that, and then of course this morning they had, last night, pretty much this morning, we all heard about it. We heard about the bombing over Manchester at the end of that Ariana Grande concert. So far it's 22 dead, 59 injured, last count. That's somewhat accurate, and there's still parents trying to find their kids right now.
Fucking terrible, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a very long process, and it could very well...
Fucking cowards.
It could change the face of the UK a bit. Theresa May is already saying, hey, we're going to increase our terror alert because there's we're at a high risk for another one pretty quickly.
Here's the thing, though. It's going to become to the point where... Fuck it, you're brown, you're going to get shot.
Right.
And it's going to fucking suck. I mean, you can't... Well, I say we can't. Well, we shouldn't kill an entire race. Or group of people, I wouldn't say race. A group of people.
Because of the few.
Yeah, but it's going to end up being that way. You can't trust fucking anybody at this point. That guy was a fucking UK national.
Yeah, I mean, they're homegrown. They are homegrown, and they're disaffected. They're not... we've had this discussion in the past, what causes someone to go to extremist groups like Al-Qaeda and whatnot. It's not really for religious purposes. It really isn't. There's a motivating factor, whether it's economic struggle, family, philosophical struggles, that kind of deal. It's usually political, I find. And, ISIS is really like a political cult on a lot of levels. And it just motivates people.
They're looking at anything that would help improve their lives, and it seems more or less or not, guess what's holding them down? It's the political stature against them.
Exactly.
I read an article the other day. I think it was actually in the Angry Black Rant webpage or the Facebook group. This fucking KKK kid, a neo-Nazi, quit being a neo-Nazi, joined Islam, and then killed his fucking buddies because they were bagging on fucking Islam.
I remember seeing that headline. Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
That's what I'm saying. And it's that, some of these folks, they go to these groups because they need identity. They want to feel important, or at least feel relevant.
Right.
They want they want authority. They want to feel like they've got control. Yeah, and that's some of the biggest motivating factors behind any extreme organization. They give you an identity. They make you feel like you're part of something bigger than yourself, which we're genetically wired to seek. We're looking for that. Some of these people, it's the authority, the position of power, control. That's the biggest things. And often that's a factor because of usually an economic or political status drives these folks to those extreme measures. And my biggest thing is I want to see not just the local, religious communities within Manchester step forward and condemn this. They need to be looking within their own ranks for anybody who has a potential, who's disaffected, who's upset. They're on ground zero to see these people develop into the patterns that they're going to follow. These folks are going to be talking a little bit more liberally, like the two neo-Nazis that were arrested over in Germany because they had a right-wing attack planned against, I think it was the Muslim community over there in
the guy that
German.
Got a second identity as a Syrian refugee, that guy that you're talking about? There was an army guy, he was a lieutenant, I think, who got he had a secondary Syrian refugee passport. He was planning on making a terror attack, to spread that shit. That's the last thing we fucking need anywhere,
Yeah, and like I said, Germany now is having to crack down on their military. They've recently been doing raids on, because they know that there are extremists within the ranks, and they're at a point that they have to get these guys to understand this is not how we do things anymore. But when you have places that you're going to stay, like a barracks named after one of the more famous World War II generals, still being called that, you still have a lot of different places named after these World War II German heroes on that side of the line back in those days. They've got to get a consistent message being pushed out there. They really need to have a consistent message.
I'm kind of torn on that, and I'll tell you why. You can well, I guess I'm not that torn on. Now that I was going to make my argument, I thought, well, that's fucking stupid, so that argument's not going to work. People can be really shitty and still be really good at something, if that makes any sense at all. Like
of course.
Nathan Bedford Forrest, guy that started a Klan, one of the greatest fucking military minds of all goddamn time. They still use his fucking hit and run tactics you trained at the military academy. And the Middle Tennessee State University, their what's it called? ROTC building is named for us all. And they're the first ones to tell you, we don't approve of who the guy was. But that guy was a bad.
Good at what he did.
He was damn good.
And see, that's the thing. They can put those things into studies as far as just as maneuvers. Now, there's another barrack that in Germany that's named after a flying ace. And they're trying to say that he never really fought in World War II. Therefore, because the guy had a Jewish wife and, all of this stuff. So they're like, why don't we just put a plaque up explaining who he was and what he did? Because maybe then it'll help some of these neo-Nazi guys quit, enshrining the place. But it's a problem. Germany's realized they've got an extreme right-wing problem within their military because, like I said, they had two guys that were planning on attacking a terrorist attack against like the Muslim refugee camps. They were going to bomb and terrorize those people.
And frame the fuck out of them too.
Yeah, exactly. Just to try and get their conservative ideology of kicking all these people out, a more pure German nation is what they want. And that's a problem. That is a big problem. And it's good to see that, they're looking to their own to clean this up. And I find sometimes in Christian communities, we're seeing it in the Muslim community as far as within the churches. I just think the community, in a way, I have zero doubt that these folks are just taken to their absolute knees when they see the kind of damage being done by individuals in the name of what they believe. But there comes a point that you can look within your community and actively find these people. Because if they're going and attending your local services and whatnot, you interact with people, you kind of know the ones who have got a bit of a conservative ideology that's a little scary.
Yeah, but you kind of never expect people to do it. It's like serial killers. Don't expect that quiet guy next door to murder all your fucking neighbors,
Yeah. It's just something I think of. You can tell someone's struggling, and a number of these guys who have done these attacks, they were in their community. Their other members of the community knew who they were. They either have no comment or this was a great person. We don't know what happened. It's not completely. But what's really been more fucked up, the guy that did this attack recently over in Manchester, he was already on a watch list. They just had him prioritized wrong on the list. So that's kind of a whole other ballpark of a problem. But at the end of the day, I was telling my boss, I said, this could be first, U.S. Bank Arena. This could have easily been the football stadium, because, they pat you down and whatnot. But if you're waiting until the end of the show to show up to do it, security's already relaxed anyway, because everybody they thought they needed to check has already been checked and allowed into the building. So you kind of relax after that point. But
I really hope
I don't know what they're going to do long term. What a solution would be for this.
But let's talk about something that happened that was really, really good in the deep south of the United States of America. Pissed off some really close friends of mine, and y'all probably know what I'm talking about. There's
the removal of the Southern heroes from New Orleans.
Yes.
Robert E. Lee is next on the list, and they have to do it during the day.
Robert E. Lee came down today off their main statue in downtown today.
Robert E. Lee was an abolitionist, right?
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was actually a decent human being. He just fought for the state that he grew up in. That was his only flaw.
Yeah.
He was actually a really decent human being.
Well, anyway, there's a lot of people around here still upset about. They're scared about stuff coming down around here. And you know what?
So they'll put it in a museum.
No, it's going to go in a museum. That's the thing. We're not erasing. They're not erasing history.
Yeah, they're not
celebrating
I was dumb enough to get in an argument about it online the other night. No, you're not. You can still read about history in a book as long as you make sure some Republican doesn't come by and whitewash it. But you're going to find it in there.
No, but I mean that's the thing. They're not destroying them. They're just taking them down. They're no longer celebrating a treasonous time in our country.
Right. And I've had this discussion too. You're pro-Constitution. Well, fuck yeah, I'm pro-Constitution. I'm goddamn American. Okay, but you celebrate that flag on your bumper of your truck who was...
You're extremely anti-American. Literally fought a war for 4 years.
They didn't want no. They weren't about that Constitution. They didn't want that Constitution.
It's called cognitive dissonance.
The Constitution gives you the right to still put that sidearm on your fucking belt. Fucking America, right? But whenever it breaks off in that conversation, they've got a problem with it. But
that's usually how it rolls. I mean, they hide behind, you're trying to eliminate history because it's not in the public eye, which a museum is pretty fucking public. Or they try to say it doesn't mean that anymore. It's something else now. It's it doesn't work that way. I can't go and take an Auschwitz oven and recreate it into something new.
I bet it's going to
is what it is.
Seasoned.
Hey, here's the thing, man. I've tried to imagine being a Jewish guy who came across a neighbor who flew up a damn Nazi flag in their yard, or tried to imagine myself and how it would impact me or my friends and loved ones. The Confederate flag outside of a black family's home.
It'd be hard not to fuck them up.
It bothers me. I don't think that's Southern heritage at all. I think there's a lot of goddamn good Southern heritage, but it doesn't revolve around a flag. It revolves around kindness. It revolves around some sweet tea, some fried chicken, some good-ass barbecue, maybe some beer, maybe some moonshine.
Don't forget racism. What's in there?
And some cornbread.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
And some motherfucking cornbread.
And that's important to point out. I think... That's why I think they lose the whole argument about, this represents Southern heritage. Some folks act like this epitomizes Southern heritage, but the fact is, if I'm remembering my history correctly, this Stars and Bars wasn't even put up until the Civil Rights Movement.
They've got so many flags that
Well,
can't
that's
keep up
Virginia's
with
battle flag. It's not the original.
I mean, as far as popularity of use.
Oh yeah,
being-
the white
being
supremacists
capitals.
fucking co-opted the shit out of that goddamn flag.
Yeah, I mean, it was not flown in state capitals until the Civil Rights Movement. It wasn't.
It's 100% fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you, darky guys. Is that a word, darky guys? I don't know. Fuck you guys. This is our fucking heritage. We're racist assholes, and we fought to keep you guys as subhuman.
The
chattel.
South will rise again, kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
like,
I heard that. I mean, rise up and do what? Start a war to lose it again? I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
same
Hey, I
thing
can tell
all
you
over.
what, the South would probably win that war right now. If they had it again, unless we started nuking dudes, the South would fucking win. All the guns are here, dude.
No, I don't think they are as
there's
much
a
as
lot
you
of guns
think.
in the North. You know that, right?
I could literally, I know at least 30 people right now in my life. This is not even hyperbole. They own at least 5 guns, and everyone I know has an AR-15.
But they're like that in Ohio. They're like that in Vermont. And you have to imagine, too, there's
Yeah.
a couple more. I want to say
Minnesota.
there's 2 more states, and we can't be sure if there were a civil war, if they would fall the same way in line again. The South might not quite be the South the way it used to be as far as picking sides.
Yeah, I'll take that bet. I'll take that.
I'll take that. You'll find just as many Southern supremacists and militant groups and whatnot as in Kentucky as you would find.
You'll
the
find them in
backwoods,
fucking Illinois. You'll find them in fucking Wisconsin.
Minnesota.
You'll find them in Michigan. They're all over the goddamn place. They have this
Yeah, I know.
ridiculous idea that those guys are rebels, and this the "don't tread on me" concept. They fucking buy into this shit. It's ridiculous. I'm telling you, if we had another civil war, it would be fucking way worse than the first.
Oh,
Well, I
absolutely.
agree.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't think the South would still come on top.
We actually have coast to coast territory.
I think. I hope they don't. I don't know, man. I think the South. You got to think about it. The majority of military people come from the South because that's where the majority of poor people are. They think it's a rite of passage here. I'd say there's a damn good shot the South wins.
All I'm saying is, get over it, people. The South is the South. You know, it doesn't. That flag has nothing to do with the goddamn South. The South is the South. It doesn't. There's no reason to put it behind the stars and bars. I mean, we got some of the greatest goddamn shit down here, from music, blues to jazz. All of that shit started.
Dolly Parton's titties? Come on,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Well, the way they used to be. Now it's like, plastic, but still.
No, the fact is clear and simple. The war was over state rights for those states to keep slavery in position. That's all it was
Read
about.
the Articles of Confederation. It's written right in there.
Yeah, that's all it's about. That's all it's about.
It's not 100% what it's about, but it's mostly about that.
Yeah, that's all it's about. And I don't feel like there should be a monument of public land for them to be there. I don't feel like anybody should walk around and say, "Oh my God, look at that dude who fucking shot 1,000 black people at the Fort Pillow, but just because they were black." That's fucked up.
Human beings
Yeah,
suck,
but
dude.
they love to just deny, just blanket wrap that up as, it's Southern
Let it
heritage.
go.
What was the War of Northern Aggression? It had nothing to do with the South. They were
Yeah,
just defeated.
exactly.
We were just
Be
exactly.
proud of being from the South because we've got the best goddamn football team. We're violent as fuck. Be proud of the South because we got that's where most of the music we enjoy from today came from.
Just saying. Wu-Tang came from New
The
York.
best food. Oh, come on now. You ain't having some of that Southern Creole. Oh my goodness.
We do have some
baked
good food in the South, not gonna lie.
Yeah, you guys do.
They do deep fry fucking everything down here, though.
I still like to make jambalaya in just different types of oh shit, what do you call them? You make that soup out of them. The mud.
Creole.
Crawfish?
Yeah, crawfish. Thank you. My brain's not working.
I was like, when you said mud, I
Crawfish.
figured it out.
Yeah, because you have to get them out of the little mud holes that you see. Yeah, but yeah, that's what's going on this week. Is just lots of and there was also they had that raid in Yemen again. 4 soldiers went in and did a raid, killed 8
died
mobs.
this time.
Yeah, 2 were lightly wounded though, as they describe it. I don't know what lightly wounded means. It's not deadly, I guess. But they also said that there was another market bombing and 80 women and children died, too.
God damn.
In Yemen. Yeah. No news coverage. Isn't that great? Just like, let's just worry about first world countries. So, yeah, what a depressing week. It's just like, oh, I hope it lets up soon. You guys want to watch something funny, but we'll head out because it has Alex Jones being made fun of in it. We all know who Alex Jones is, right?
Oh.
You mean the world's greatest American? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, hold on. This is on YouTube, and this came up the other day, and it was fucking hilarious. I'm going to...
I will throw
Let me
in
get
a
us
side
over
note
here.
right
Hold
quick
on.
while she's doing this, that Alex Jones lost his damn kids to a jury because he was deemed a unworthy person to be a parent.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah. Well, check this out. You're going to love this part of it.
that. This guy looks like Asian Edward Furlong. He does. Or not Edward Furlong, the other guy. You might want to have to hit B1. Hit B1.
What happened?
You get to
Couldn't
hit
hear
B1.
it?
No, couldn't hear it. No, not
Well,
Edward
here-
Furlong. Who's the other guy? Third Rock from the Sun guy. What's his name? Shit.
I don't know.
Oh, he's
What do you
really
mean?
cute. He's really cute.
He's really cute.
He's cute.
Well, this was just fantastic, and I thought of you guys when I saw it this week. So,
I have heard none of it. I have no idea what it is.
but this is Markiplier. He's a YouTuber and he's a gamer. So, I watch all kinds of goofy stuff like that. And they had this fun bit with Alex Jones come on, and it's just priceless. Whoever muted the.
I cannot hear a goddamn. Dude, I hear nothing.
You don't like to eat children?
No, I do. We can't hear that. Woodmore,
You
can
can't
you
hear it? Well, we'll figure it
Can't
out.
hear a damn thing.
You guys will enjoy it. I'll send you all the link. But basically, it's just making a shit ton of fun of Alex Jones. Somebody really had a lot of fun just imitating the shit out of this guy like you would not believe. They cut it, they edited it, and it's just hilarious.
You want to hear something that? What the fuck? Is she gone?
I think we ran out of time.
No, we don't have time. It's our own thing. We're still live, so don't fuck up. Something to restore my faith in humanity. CS Screw Us and I were having dinner, and CS's dad, my brother, said that he really liked Alex Jones. And CS said, "Are you fucking kidding me? The guy that thinks that fucking lizards are in the ninth dimension?" He's like, "What? I've never heard that shit." And then all of a sudden, he quit listening to Alex Jones. So there is hope for America after all.
There is. I mean, I can't get over that. There's people that love this guy, and like
He's
in court,
entertaining as fuck.
Well, in court, he said he was just acting it, but then once he left court, they had him on
His
camera
lawyer
saying
said that. He didn't
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
His lawyer tried to save his ass. That's what a good lawyer does.
He's a fucking nutball.
He's a fucking psycho.
Yeah, he's psycho. And this is what's shaping the mindset. I've been waiting to see Alex Jones show up at Trump Tower to hang out. Because our president does take pointers from Alex Jones.
Oh, yeah, he's got a press pass.
Yeah. That
Have you ever
guy's
seen the
influencing our
episode
election.
where Tom and Cecil commentate on the interview with Ted Jones and Ted Nugent?
No.
It's the funniest goddamn episode of
might have.
podcast that you've ever heard.
Those guys are funny. They're on, dude. I'm gonna pimp another group of people's podcasts. Citation Needed is hilarious, dude.
Oh yeah, I saw they promote that today.
No, it's amazing. My wife thinks it's fucking hilarious. My wife
Really?
My wife won't even listen to our podcast because I'm an atheist. Because they don't get religious at all in there. They just make fun of dumb shit. And she's like, these guys are hilarious. I go, I know, they are super funny.
Oh
See,
shit!
that's
All
how
right,
for her
well, I got
yet.
something else to check out tomorrow.
No, because they're not. No, she knows my sense of humor. The sense of humor is close. But it's not like a religious thing. It's not an atheist thing or a secular thing at all. It's just them making fun of stuff. But that show is super good, guys. I recommend it highly. I'm a patron,
Excellent.
actually.
I know what I'm doing tomorrow during work while I'm working.
I'm a Patreon. I'm a patron to Thomas Smith, Seriously Inquiries Only, and then Citation Needed. Those are the only 2 shows that I give money to.
Well, there we go. Then we need to make sure our listeners give them some props. So I'll put some notes for them in the show links so people can check it out.
And you should check them out, Kate. They're super good. I think you'd
I'll probably enjoy it. Yeah, be something good to listen to on my commute to work.
It's very funny, and it's not down at all. It's really good stuff. They even take really terrible, tragically terrible shit and make it extremely funny. I've never seen my wife laugh at a dead child from radiation poisoning before. I'll say that. But goddamn Eli Bosnick, he makes it happen. That's all I'm saying.
Well, tell you what, kids, let's wrap it up. Starting with Woodmore, what do you think's going to happen next week with Mike Flynn and his taking the fifth?
Not a fucking thing.
That's fair.
Nothing's going to happen. They're going to.
You don't think they'll find him in contempt of Congress?
Nothing's going to happen next week. There's just going to be a bunch of news segments on it, and I don't look forward to Trump being removed from president. He's a little toy puppet being out there being yanked around by a bunch of people. It doesn't matter. Oh God! And because even if we get him out of there, you got Mike Pence, and I just don't see that being any better for the.
I totally see it being better. It's gonna suck.
What do you think about Mike Flynn?
Who, me?
Yeah, and his taking the fifth.
Well, it's bullshit. It's Ollie North style bullshit. But
yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I think Woodmore's right. I mean, unless they can actually find evidence, they've got dick. I mean, honestly, they've got dick. Unless you've got proof, you've got dick. So how do you think they go about releasing the classified paperwork? Because that's what they were saying earlier when one of the former bureau chiefs was in front of the Senate committee this morning. Or it wasn't him, it was someone else. Brazen, I think his last name was. I don't remember, but he basically said, I can't reveal names or anything because it's classified. Yeah, how convenient is that? Everything's classified. So it's like, they have to find a way to release this to declassify in order to convict anybody. Otherwise, nothing can happen. Like Woodmore said.
The same goddamn intelligence level that Hillary Rodham Clinton went for. Now,